that's resisting this breakthrough? What is it in me that's blocking this movement forward? Or who is it in me that's blocking this movement forward? You know, talking to these parts of the self to just give attention to them, to recognize them, to recognize the pain that this inner child, the shadow self, has been through. I look at the inner child as the shadow, and I believe that they're one and the same. I believe that if an inner child has been wounded, we can do all the things on the external, but if there is a wounded inner child within, that wounded inner child becomes this shadow self that acts out in different ways, and often in destructive ways, destructive to ourselves. It may seem that way. I believe that the inner child is wounded and scared and terrified, and may come across as throwing temper tantrums and creating all this chaos and destruction. But really, the essence of this inner child, it's sacred. It's a child, and it's innocent. And it was an inner child that lost its innocence in some way, and that became kind of feral in a way. And then that inner child, you know, was then neglected, even further neglected and abandoned time and time and time again. And then it just continues to create that wounding and that false self. And then that becomes the shadow. And that's how I look at it. I don't know if that is, you know, everyone's belief, but that's really what's worked for me in bringing compassion and awareness to that part of me, and to that inner, you know, that little self that lives within me, is knowing that it holds this sacred energy that it's just kind of been destroyed over time. Not completely destroyed, because it can be rebirthed and re-energized and given new life and allowed to be free. But it takes that awareness, and then the softening and the working with that inner being to become free, to know that it's safe, to know that you have the authority, you are the authority, your higher self, this true identity of you has the authority, this adult part of you has the authority. You can reparent this inner child to know and to have that trust and faith in you, that you will take care of this little being, and that he or she will not be left to be abandoned or neglected ever again.